What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York calling from Zoom again, and this time we are here with Asana of Nine Treasures. Thanks for being here. It's great to have you here.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Your newest album is Awakening the Doka, which is a very, very beautiful album. Would re-recording this and bringing a new production into it, would that bring a new layer of meaning to the material as well, or do the songs still have the same message and the same idea behind them?
The message is the same, but we did some tweaking on the songwriting. So it sounds more detailed and more, more logically enhanced.
hmm When you start off the songwriting, is there like a preconceived vision or like a idea that you go into the songwriting with, or is your songwriting process a very organic and everything kind of just falls into place?
I always start with the guitar, and I will hit the record button, and then I just jamming with myself, with my brain, and then something will come. And I just pick some of the great leaks, and I will put it together like, one after one, and uh, I and then that's where the sound's gonna build up.
hmm Has there ever been a time, because with this folk music that I've seen with bands such as Tenger Cavalry or The Who, for example, and with Nine Treasures, the music is very conceptually driven. There's always stories to be told, and there's always deeper meanings behind it. Has a story ever helped maybe influence the sound itself, or influenced the way that we're hearing the music as well?
Um, yeah, it's sometimes it is, sometimes not. I would say, before I pick up the guitar, sometimes I will think that, okay, I have some emotion going on, and then I will change it to some rhythms or some ideas, and then I will start from there and pick up the guitar, and it will translate on the guitar.
hmm And does that emotion come to you out of nowhere, or do you have like a usual place that you go to in order to feel that emotion?
Emotion is basically anytime, anywhere happening. So uh, it's just the way of human brains works. so so it's just matter of how you choose it. Like if you feel nothing, and you can watch some news online or something, something will come up, and then and you just if you feel really meaningful at the moment, and then you will get noticed, and it's come up pretty naturally, I think.
Mhm. And do you want your music to be open to interpretation, or do you try to maybe get a listener to sort of see things from your point of view, or maybe inform them on a specific matter?
I think I cannot push anybody to things from my perspective. So everybody thinks different, but I always think that if I can put some positive energy to my song, and it will help someone, helps for some kids, our Chinese fans. Always, after the show, they always tell me that your song saved me, or your band is great, and suggest such messages. And I think that that's a great thing. That's a great thing to have.
Absolutely. And I
Mhm.
do feel that with your music. I feel like it's very positive and it's very informative. Two things that people think metal isn't at all.
Yeah, because at the early stage on my listening to metal music, and I always, got sleep. Even it's continue playing, Uh, but at that time, I don't know what's the message behind it because I don't speak English at the time. But I always, it is always giving me the energy.
Of course. I think also for Nine Treasures, this is a very celebratory year because this year does mark 10 years since your debut album, which is Avran Ed Gulin. And again, my apologies if I mispronounced it.
It's Arong Alt Golden Hanshar.
Okay, what you said.
Mhm.
But what was the sort of thought process behind the making of your debut, and how has the evolution of your band sort of changed since then that we would hear later on the self-titled album or Wisdom Eyes or and so on?
The basic formula is never changed, in my opinion. Only thing changed is the maybe tempo changes. Early music is has some raw power in it, and then I developed my songwriting skills, and I put a lot of details in it, and okay, what was the question again?
How has the evolution changed? But you kind of answered it with saying that the songwriting process hasn't changed very much.
Mhm. Yeah, the formula is the same, but the way I writing music is more skilled right now compared to the early days.
Do you look at every album as like a snapshot of like a self portrait of who you personally are, or is your music kind of like what I said about the emotion? Is it like just a self portrait, or is there a lot of external sources of inspiration as well that you're looking at?
It's uh, always reflecting my own thoughts on the music, and sometimes I will write about something outside, but I really enjoy that. I express my emotion in my songs.
Because I've talked with a lot of there's a lot of like underground bands from China that my friend in Beijing sends me all the
Mhm.
time, and I was talking with her about it because there's so much. I feel like within China, from a spiritual and philosophical side, there's sources of inspiration. From a political side, there's inspiration. From an artistic side, there's so much sources of inspiration. Has the Chinese culture and your background influenced this as well within your folk style, or is this all just strictly personal?
Um, I would say the Eastern philosophy or Eastern Eastern culture like Buddhism and Taoism changed me a lot, and then it changed the way I look at the world, and it's also uh, it's also changed my view, so that it definitely had something related to it,
Yeah, I always
and then a bit with my personal thoughts also. It's all mixed together, I think.
it's like your experience with that philosophical experience, that philosophical
Yeah,
idea.
exactly.
Yeah. How has the scene in China been? I know China's a big country, but I heard that every big city from Shanghai to Beijing all have like their own little scenes in China as well. Is that very true?
Yeah, the major cities have their own metal scenes, and smaller city, of course there is few less metal bands, so definitely the major big four cities are handling the whole scene.
Yeah. And when it has that has is there like a huge underground as well? Because I heard that there's an underground for like black metal a lot in China as well. And there's a band from Beijing. I think they're pronounced Ao or U O U is how they're spelled. They're prog metal. So it seems like that
Mm-hmm.
there's folk metal, there's black metal, there's progressive metal. It seems like there's a whole different. It seems like there's not one specific genre that China's affiliated with.
Chinese bands are basically uh, covering every genre on metal. It's pretty interesting. And the south side of China, it's a more modern metal scenes, I would say. And then the northern are more like a traditional metal kind of stuff. And it's really great. And I have a website that counted the Chinese metal bands. It's uh, it was 400 or 500 total. Yeah,
Really?
it's a big scene.
Is that website still around? Just because I would like to put that in the YouTube description and maybe expose some of the viewers as well.
Yeah, sure. I will type it down for you. I don't know if it still exists or not. I just got used to check bands on that maybe 10 years ago.
Okay. Oh,
Hmm.
yep. I just got it. Okay. I'm gonna keep that saved. Just if it
Yeah,
still works, I'm gonna put that in the link in the description. Because that would be really cool.
sure. Sure. It's not also covering the metal bands, it's also covering the whole rock music scenes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a whole great music scene in China. There's just so much great forms of art that has been exposed there. When it
Mhm.
comes to Nine Treasures playing live, I'll be seeing you live in Brooklyn very soon.
Wow.
Yep, I'm very
Wow,
excited for
great.
that. Is there a similar energy that you put into your live presence as you do when you're songwriting, or do you consider songwriting and playing live two completely separate arts?
Um, if you gig a lot, and then you will kind of lose some of the feelings because it became your daily work. Uh, and then, but in some point, uh, maybe the concert was sold out and you were happy, and then you will have some bump, like because you're happy, and then you want to put more of your energy on stage, and then uh, the songs you wrote will give you some energy back. That's the amazing feeling. uh, it will even give you some feelings that you even don't think about. Uh, Maybe you didn't think that way at your songwriting process, but after that, at the live gig, it will give you something completely different feeling. It's really, I would say it's really magical.
That it does it, and you mentioned the emotion that you use to create your music. When you replicate that song live, does it put you back in that emotion in a way, or does interacting with the crowd and being in that live setting make you feel differently about that song?
Um, because on stage, my brain is, sometimes here and there, all all over the place. So sometimes I will feel really, grateful to having each other on stage. I would look at the bass player, and then he smiling at me, and then I would say, wow, this is the best moment of my life. That's really great feeling.
And when it comes to like putting a set list together, because you have three full length albums out now, and does it get a little bit difficult to decide what song to put in the set list as you create more and more music?
Yeah, definitely. Our full set is 1.5 hour, so it's pretty long for in especially these days. and our song is not so heavy, so we can we can play more songs on one set. Because I know that some of the extreme metal they could not play too long because the notes are too many notes, like the drummer will die back there, so thankfully that our song is too hard not too hard to play, so we can extend our live gig, so we will choose as many as we can.
Can you play all three albums and the White Horse CP?
No, it will be around like 2.5 hours.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, maybe we can use some tricks, like Metallica do before the song one, they will put really long background music or something like that.
Yeah, that would
That
be
way you can rest.
that would be a really good idea, actually. And when it comes to thinking of these ideas and cultivating that emotion for your songwriting, is it better when you're in the company of your other bandmates, or do you prefer to write more alone in isolation?
I would get used to write alone, but I think in our new album we're gonna write together, because um, as you grow up, you will more open to other people, because you grow up, right?
Yeah, definitely. Human interaction is a one of it's gonna inspire you one way or another, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah, when I was 20, I will more enjoy myself, like the alone time, and I will listen to music alone and do everything alone. And then, especially these years, I'm turning into 36 this year. So, especially these years, I enjoy more the relation between uh, band members and other friends around me, and that's really great.
Yeah. And I have one more question for you, and it's the most
Hmm.
difficult one. Are you ready?
Hmm. Sure.
How do you know when a song is done?
Ah, I would say it's never gonna done. You know, it's gonna mm, uh, reach the end as close as possible, but it's never gonna be like 100%. But I think. Uh, I was a little bit lazy at the uh, first three album. I didn't put my full energy, full, uh, you know, uh, full energy to it. So this time I will try my best to reach the ending.
That's strange to say because when I listen to all three of your albums so far, and I feel full energy within all of it. So it's strange to hear you say that.
Thank you, thank you. I really excited for it, and this because I am now a full time musician, so there is no question to being lazy anymore.
Definitely. So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today, for
Thank you.
such a great conversation. Is there just anything else with Nine Treasures you would like to promote with this North American tour happening? Is there just anything else? When can we be expecting the new Nine Treasures album, if you're allowed to say, of course?
Um, I hope every people come to our concert, and I hope they get happy and get energized. Yeah, and I hope we can put out a really great album for you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, look forward to hearing more. Thank you so much, everybody. We are here with Nine Treasures. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we will see you next time.